That stuff about yuppies. Mind you, spoken by an expert on the subject, Kings Road Clarkson himself. However, he does have a point. If Porsche are to win back those true driving enthusiasts, they need a serious car to seriously impress. And this is it, the very latest 911 Turbo. Not my choice of colour, perhaps, but that doesn't detract from these classic 911 lines. There's the distinctive turbo hallmarks of the whale tail and those huge wheel arch extensions. New 18-inch rims house drill discs and 4-pot aluminium calipers. The latest Turbo uses the same 3.6-litre engine as the Carrera 2 and 4, but with 0.9 bar of boost from the turbocharger, the output is pushed up from their 250 to 360 horsepower, and that's over 10% up on the old Turbo model. With the best will in the world, you can't really stretch its legs on the public roads. In such cases, we normally go to a racetrack. But for the 911, Millbrook Proving Ground in Bedfordshire seemed like a better bet. Not only can you go flat out on the banked bowl and the mile straight, there's the handling and the hill circuits to offer every type of corner and gradient to test the car's performance. Of course, the first question everyone asks is, how fast? Let's find out. The banked circuit at Millbrook is a perfect circle, 2 miles round. You can actually drive in the top lane at a steady 100 miles an hour with your hands off the wheel as the banking steers you around. Over 100 and you need to hang on tight and hold the car away from the barriers. At high speeds you feel every little bump as the car sits down on its suspension. The Porsche's Speedo showed a flat-out 175 miles an hour. The second question, 0 to 60. Hold on. Well, if you're prepared to burn a lot of expensive rubber and be brutal with the clutch and gearbox, it'll do it in 4.7 seconds. But really, that sort of behaviour is best left for the racetrack. Now, the third question, which people never seem to ask, is how quickly does it stop? I'll show you. We're doing 30 miles an hour. If I hit the brakes, it stops. In fact, it stopped in just 27 feet. And at 70 miles an hour, it was even more impressive. Just under 100 feet, way short of the highway code's 245. So it goes fast and stops quickly. But how does the 911 cope with the country lanes? The country lanes at Millbrook are glorious, twisting, almost alpine roads, which despite their centreline markings are one way, so I could test the 911 in complete safety. Now, it wasn't just the four-wheel drive that improved the 911's handling, because the new Carreras also featured substantially modified chassis and suspension that made the rear-wheel drive Carrera 2 just as sure-footed as the 4. But then you ask it to cope with another 110 horsepower. No problem. Now, while the latest Carrera 4 does help save Jeremy from ending up in the ditch, you can never get away from the fact that the 911 has most of its weight in the tail. Normally, that means if you power into a corner too fast and lift off the throttle, the back swings out. It may still be true in the wet, but in the dry, I couldn't get it to go. On the other hand, break the traction with brute horsepower and you can get a glorious tail-out power slide. With my research finished for the day, I took the 911 Turbo onto the handling circuit for some exhilarating high-speed motoring. The new chassis and now the new engine have seen the Turbo evolve yet again into an even better, even safer machine that provides real driver satisfaction. Of course, if you try too hard, things can get very dramatic. It's hard work filming for Top Gear.